Hey guys, bent the chassis last week on the Arrma Kraton V4, and one of my subscribers told me about this chassis plate and or skid plate. It's actually more than a skid plate, though. It does offer protection for the chassis, and they recommended customrcupgrades.com. Looks like these guys might be out of UK, possibly. I did find the exact same item through Just RC. Same item, same price. It was around $38. I'm not sure if these are sister companies or what the deal is, but that's where I got it from. Anyways, looks really good, nice and shiny, but we know that's not going to last anyways. But the length on this thing is great. It does require minimum modification, being you're going to need to drill an extra hole right here. They do provide screws with the plate, and as you can see, they provide the locking nylon nut also. So yeah, when you're doing it, just be careful. Make sure you get this thing screwed into place first with your four diff screws going through the chassis, and then you can drill this one out. Just make sure everything's nice, flat, and level. Probably would recommend to get one of these off the bat before you do have a bend in the chassis. Chassis did bend probably about right there, so this will definitely capture that area. Other than that, I've had no other issues with the chassis. The front end has been fine. I'm thinking this is going to be a good fix for me. The M2C chassis were out of stock anyways, so I've got RPM arms all around. Also replaced all the hub carrier bearings. Got those. Got a 22-piece kit off of Amazon for super cheap, maybe like 10 or 12 bucks, and they do have the rubber coatings on those. They are sealed bearings. Also, the front end on this thing, if you do have an RPM bumper, I highly recommend. They're good. I mean, I like RPM products. I've got the A-arms all around, but you're still going to have an issue with your stock bumper on the Kraton. It sticks out too far, and it screws into your plastic diff housing and is notorious for breaking off there. So there's just too much material sticking out. It needs to be cut off, and you can see how much I've done. Just make sure you've got enough left there for your screws to go in, and that your hinge pins are captured there. So to me, that's a fix. Or you could go maybe T-bone racing, but I don't have one of those. That may fix it also, but I like the RPM, so that's what I did. So that's a super cheap, quick fix on there. You could also buy the Integy one. They sell an upgrade for like 20 bucks for the Integy bumper. So I say just slice the stock one and go for it. I'm trying to think what else I got going on with this thing. I just got the fan off the ESC. Gotta pick one of those up today. Fan went out on me, and that's super easy to access. There's just 4 screws, and then just top part just literally slides right off. Easy access. Good time to clean off the ESC cooling fans, which I will do. The heat sink on there. So I've also got a hobby wing fan on this thing too, which I think is pretty important. And the dog bones on these things are just awesome. Super beefy, no issues. I can't see needing to upgrade anything like that. Shock tower did have a little bit of a bend in it. Hammered it out. Good to go. No worries there. I mean, it's super easy to take apart. I mean, just a matter of some screws coming out. Shock tower comes off super easy. These things are great, easy to work on. I would definitely recommend to get something like these MIP drivers. It really does save time, especially if you get on your little power driver. And also it'll save you a bunch of stripped screw heads also. They work really well. Love those things. And I think that's about it. I think once I get a cooling fan on this thing today, I'll be good. Just forgot to mention, I did rebuild the rear diff when I was messing around with this chassis plate. I did have a stripped ring gear inside the diff. The pinion gear was fine. Spider gears are fine. They're super beefy. But anyways, after I rebuilt this thing and put it back together, I was just testing it, and when I was turning the diff, it was smooth for most of the rotation. Then you get to a point and it was really feeling kind of notchety in there. So I was like, what the heck is going on with this thing? You know, took it apart, put it back together again, looked at it, and what's going on? Finally, when I removed there was a shim here. I took it out before reassembling it again, put it back together, and lo and behold, at that point, smooth rotation all the way around. Problem solved. No notchety, just smooth as butter. So I don't know if the bearings were like maybe a slightly different size. I mean, just off by a hair, and that caused a problem. But it's been rebuilt with new bearings in there also, and that new ring gear. And it's like I say, it's smooth as butter in there right now after doing that.